If you have a porn habit, you probably find that you're always chasing that high from porn and that you may not find anything satisfying in your life anymore. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, brain health and sex addiction recovery coach. Let's talk about the dopamine depletion cycle of porn consumption and addiction. Also, there's a little unknown fact that might have you excited. So stay with me till the end of the video. All right, so when you established your porn habit back when you were young, it changed the way that your brain needs dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter and it's known as the molecule of motivation, more, and pleasure. So essentially, it gets linked to the activities that you do in your life to become the pleasurable activities that you want to go back to more and more often to feel good. So let's just say that you never found porn. What would have happened across your young lifetime is that you would have developed hobbies, you would have established relationships, and you would have found work that jazzes you up. Those are the things that people go to in their life to find real world pleasure. So, what happens when porn enters the mix? Usually at a young age in adolescence or even now in childhood, it hijacks those pleasure pathways in your brain. So, what happens is your brain becomes linked to the supernormal stimulus, very high supercharged dopamine from porn. Unfortunately, when you get linked to that supercharged dopamine, you no longer feel satisfied by the dopamine that happens in real world experiences, like your relationships, like your hobbies, and like your work. So, this is how it plays out in real life. If you never found porn, maybe you would have loved soccer and basketball and guitar, video games here and there. You might have decided that you want to be a neuroscientist when you grew up or to have a YouTube channel, and you would have started making those videos and started doing those experiments. While you were doing a scientific experiment one day, you would have met your honey, and instantly there would have been a connection because dopamine would have been flowing when you met this person in real life while you were doing your scientific study that makes you feel good pleasure. So, those are real world experiences with healthy levels of dopamine. Porn enters the scene at an early age and hijacks those pleasure pathways in your brain. And the more you traverse them, the more you cross them and you walk on them back to porn, the deeper and deeper these neural pathways become engrooved. So, this is why a porn habit becomes a compulsion, becomes an addiction. It's all about the dopamine. You end up in a position where you have to go back to porn to feel good because you're in that dopamine depleted, drought deficit state in your life. This is how porn contributes to increased anxiety, increased depression, which are both scientifically proven. This is why you have less satisfaction with your partner and your real world sex life. This is why people experience sexual arousal dysfunction, namely erectile dysfunction and delayed ejaculation primarily. This is why you have little pleasure or less pleasure in your life and you keep wanting to go back to the screen. It's called the chaser effect. The chaser effect means you got lots of dopamine from explicit matter or sexual media and you want to go back to that. And you can't nearly get anywhere near the amount of dopamine from your real world experiences. They don't compare anymore. Your partner can't compare. Your hobbies don't even register. You stop doing them. Your work becomes lackluster, but you have no clue that it's because of porn. I want to link that together for you here today. It's a dopamine depletion state. Now, here's the little unknown fact is that due to the beauty and the wonders of neuroplasticity, when you stop consuming porn, which may be difficult, but worth it, when you stop taking those neural pathways back to porn and you instead start taking the pathways back to real world, real life healthy pleasure, you can weed over those old pathways and you can still achieve the life you've always wanted and you deserve, no longer stuck in your man cave or your bathroom consuming porn and masturbating. That is my mission. That is why I'm here. I want you to know porn is at the root of how you feel and how you are unhappy in your life, whether you know it or not. It's a dopamine depletion cycle. So, to be able to accomplish this goal, you have to stop watching porn. You have to stop desensitizing those dopamine receptors in your brain and instead fire up the neural pathways back to real world pleasure by engaging in work you love, by doing the hobbies that you used to love, and by spending time with your people, by reestablishing healthy sexuality. Now, I will tell you, it's very difficult to give up a porn addiction. That's why I've developed programs to help people. It's imperative for most people. Science shows that you need a structured program and support of a professional. It's not a thing that you can decide, oh, I'm not watching porn anymore and succeed. So if you've tried to quit watching porn and you have not been able to yet, it's not because you can't. It's because you don't have the right tools, strategies, and support. I have those things for you. If you are interested, go over to drtrishleigh.com. We can help you. Now, if you struggle with erectile dysfunction or sexual arousal dysfunction, like many of my clients do, and even if you struggled with it for over a decade, it can be reversed fairly quickly. If it's been around for a decade and you've been watching porn for decades, it may take a few months up to a year. But almost immediately, when I work with people, they begin to feel and perform better. So hold out hope, pragmatic hope, and do what you need to do by giving up porn and resensitizing your brain by reestablishing and resetting those pleasure pathways back into your life. All right, I hope this helps. And as always, control your brain or it'll control you.